Hello，各位观众以及朋友们，大家好，我是老郑。在直播还没有开始之前，先订阅老郑的频道哦，记得订阅及按下小铃铛，关注通知，来成为老郑登阅者一环哦。因为今天嘛是特别的日子嘛，就是川普以及那个谁啊？哎，对了，就是川普跟那个贺锦丽的这个美国大选2024年哦。然后呢，我就是也有听我这些朋友说这个大选赢了，但是我个人是支持川普哦，而且我也是很支持川普当选。嗯嗯对了，因为就我一个人嘛，会比较孤单一些哦，但是我也要分享一下嘛。如果没有分享的话，也很对不起面前几个朋友哦。等下先拿我的画面要调一下哦，等老郑一下，老郑先调一下画面先哦。等一下哦，老郑先调好画面先，超快了。我看一下哦。老郑的画面可能要再调多一次，等老郑一下，超快。等下先很快就会好了哦。等一下，超快超快，等我一下。极快对了，各位观众等一下哦，很快吧哦。等老郑一下，老郑很快就弄好，保证超快了。OK，弄好了。嗯嗯，对了对了，如果观众有什么想法的话，可以在聊天室这边留言哦，就说一下你个人是支持川普当选呢，还是支持贺锦丽？因为美国大选嘛，2024年嘛，不是？你会支持哪一个人当选呢？请在聊天室留言，谢谢。嗯嗯嗯，对了，我还要先看一下哦，可能还要先开一些报道一下，这样很快罢了。对了，还有我的这个友军呢，也可以说是斯坦大大呢，他也在直播中哦。还有那个谁啊，我看一下，不止斯坦，还有等下想我先搜索一下，八囧大大。对了，还有八囧大大也是我的友军来了，他也在直播这。但是我不知道陈老师有直播吗？陈，陈老师的话他就没有什么直播，很可惜哦。然后还有就是看小镇在日本一下，他也是，我敢估计他也是没有直播。但是公职省公，对了， 公职神的话，他就有在直播这个美国大选哦。但是我再回头再来看，咦，没有变到诶，可能我还要再关注这些数据哦。但是我个人是认为川普一定要赢哦。虽然贺锦丽他是民主党的，他是说有就是要因为什么双方都是对台湾是有利益的，就有利益往来的。但是虽然贺锦丽呢是有部分人支持的，但是因为他副手嘛，就有一些就是会让人很担忧哦，所以我个人是支持川普的。OK， 我会来看一下哦。但是基于会不会侵犯版权，因为我知道如果他这个音乐有侵犯版权的话，我是不会开的。
She has been for all purposes intense. Now, partly everything is just thrown up in the air with so many points. For example, we know what Mr. Trump's perspective is on tariffs and trade. Guess what? Ms. Harris also voted against the YMCA, the US-Canada-Mexico agreement, which replaced NAFTA, North America Free Trade Agreement. So in that
我先吃一下汉堡哦，请各位观众慢慢看一下这个大选的这个结果吧。
Now, she may have made these gestures, which is all very well because you have to play to all your constituents if you are going to be a one large tent inclusive party, which is what the Democrats have always voted to be, more so than the Republicans in their rhetoric and temper and tone. But it has clearly not gone down well. And therefore, despite the best of attempts and with the women rooting for her across the landscape, it would seem not come to pass as such.
Right, Bazine, stay on with us. We are cutting back across to CNN and let's see what's happening over there. Even as we await Donald Trump and his arrival at Florida to address that of the Republican Party. Let's take a look.
From here, and then you come over here, Navajo County, and down here in the southern part of the state, Yuma County, 64% of the vote. Again, you think, oh boy, but that's double. That's almost double when you look at the raw vote count there. So how does he do it, right? So that's Arizona. You come up to Nevada. Again, it's not in Clark County. That's Vegas and the suburbs around it. But in these other places, that's the end of the campaign when everyone's obsessed
好的，各位观众听得到吗？
Well, he's talking to those people.
听得到吗？如果听得到的话，回忆哦。
In a lot of Republican counties, most of the places he overperformed dramatically. This is by 3%. You'll see suburbs where that'll be something we're talking about in the days and weeks after too, by 1 point, or 1.5 points. This is 3% or more, right? So when you look at this, don't think about California yet. Let the votes be counted.
So these are all the counties where he overperformed by 3% or more.
Over his 2020 number by 3% or more. And right now we're over 1,000. Counties and townships, mostly up here in New England, but in other places too they use the word townships, not counties. So they're not trying to. If you live in a township, don't take my county. But there are 4,600 counties and townships, and in more than 1,000 of them, he has overperformed. But the thing is, they're mostly red. There are some blue, and the Democrats have to study that. But the idea of we always say, are Republicans going to stand up to Donald Trump? Not looking at that, they're not, because he's increasing the vote that he already got. He's up over 2016, up over 2020, and now up over 2024. So you come in here and you look, and it includes Bucks County, very significant, close in there, and these other counties out here that Donald Trump likely lose anyway. So let's just bring this out now and come back to the real world.
Can I just make one more note about Bucks County? Can you bring us back to Bucks County?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was an area where Kamala Harris made a big play, even though it's a county that Donald Trump, that Joe Biden won. She made a big play there. She did an event with Liz Cheney.
Right.
there. She made a real pitch to the Haley voters you talked about. Let's check in with Pamela Brown at the voting desk, who has an update on the ballots left to be counted in Pennsylvania. Pamela?
All right, I'm getting some information for both Philadelphia and Bucks County, that Collar County right outside of Philadelphia, that right now Trump is slightly ahead. We'll talk about Philadelphia soon. We were just talking about the fact that 6,000 mail-in ballots came in there. I'm told by an official there in Philly that maximum left for mail-in ballots. The outstanding mail-in ballots is 31,000, but this official says, look, there's going to be some issues with some of these. The signatures don't match up and so forth, and it's too late for them to be cured. So that's the max amount. Let's turn it over now to Bucks County. Again, this is a county that Biden won in 2020. It's typically a blue-leaning county just outside of Philly. And told by an official there are 56,000 mail-in ballots left to count out of 140,000 mail-in ballots cast there overall. And they're still waiting for 41 out of 304 precincts to report the results of in-person Election Day votes as well. I should note these counties across Pennsylvania, including Bucks, including Philadelphia,
我看一下哦，观众有回复吗？我看一下。
ballot is counted. That's per the law there. Jay?
All right, Pamela, thanks so much. Appreciate it. I'm sorry to interrupt. Take me back to the places where Donald Trump is overperforming. Are there any places where Kamala Harris overperformed from where Biden did?
I'll show you that in just 1 second. I just want to put a button on what Pam was just talking about in the sense that, so there's votes out there. Maybe Kamala Harris comes back, and that's close.
He's up by 11,000.
So maybe she comes back, but again, you're talking about the margins, right? He's winning by 4. Right? If she comes back and beats him, it's
这个是
right there.
这个是上几年的2020年的时候，拜登 vs 川普的时候，那时候是美国大选2020年嘛，不是？但是因为拜登他赢了之后呢，我是觉得这个是对我来说不是极满意吧。
Literally not one county?
By 3% or more. At least in the county right now, and so you come in full county there. You see, but that's states, yeah. So in counties, in 58 counties, we just showed Donald Trump was over 1,000 counties of the 4,600 counties and townships across America. So if you do the full county level, there's where you see Harris at the moment. Again, there might be more out here in the West Coast, possible 1 or 2 more to finish the count here. But in the states that matter, again, I just showed you all those Trump counties. In one county in battleground Pennsylvania, he's outperforming President Biden by 3% or more.
There were Biden stalwarts who argued that kicking him out of the nomination was a mistake. Now, I don't know that I buy that because I don't know that the Joe Biden of 2024 is the Joe Biden of 2020. But what do you think?
I think that, well, so let's come out of this map to have this conversation, just to show where we are at the moment in this race.
调一下镜头
After the debate, all of the energy collapsed. The debate you moderated with Dana, the Biden-Trump debate. The area how the Democrats.
哎，各位观众看得到吗？
So you think it would have been worse because Minnesota and Virginia, New Mexico, Colorado, those would have been.
Would the Democrats have lost those in the end? I don't know the answer to that, but all the Democrats would have broken with the president. It would have caused amazing dissonance in the Democratic Party. Donors were not going to give money. And again, I don't want to be disrespectful to the President of the United States, but have you seen anything? The Vice President of the United States.
说还有差一点点报，这个投票结果最出现了。
Second, she got the nomination.
在投票结果出现之前呢，
Is there any evidence on the table?
我还不能马上就是定这个格局哦，因为什么？万一如果是变成谁在当选的话，这对我来说是很尴尬的。虽然我是人很确定川普一定会当选。
I think one of the legacy conversations about this election is not just going to be the switch from Biden, but the 2 years before that.
因为我再看一下观众的留言哦。
Because he couldn't do events, and he wasn't talking about his record and his agenda, and trying to explain.
这边应该是没有观众在留言吧？
Sucks in a lot of places, but look around the world, the United States is actually doing better than most advanced economies. He was missing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot said and done and told about that. Let's check in with Caitlin Collins, who's at Trump's headquarters, ahead of remarks that were expected by the former president. Caitlin?
Yeah, Jake, just to give you a reality check of where the Trump campaign has been watching this election day play out. They woke up confident this morning that Donald Trump would win this race. But when I was talking to
但是很可惜啊，老郑本人是没有去过美国。虽然我是很喜欢美国那边的那个生活，但是因为嘛老郑嘛就等下，因为老郑对也不能说了，因为老郑底下明年的时候还要去台湾呢，对这些钱还是省起来吧。
Yeah, and he's feeling really good. I talked to a number of people who were with him who said that he is ecstatic. That they already said
对了，如果要是川普一当选的话，那对于美国而言就是一个好事来了。这时候就是可以这样唱的 YMCA YMCA this good time。
idea by tomorrow what those results will look like, but as we're seeing those results coming in, there's so much more of that vote counted in these states than they even anticipated. So clearly that shifted their entire
对了，因为我听说嘞，我是听斯坦大大说嘞，因为他不知道，他一看了都有些新闻，这疑似就是疑似左派的哦，但是如果看一下这个。
And so now we're just waiting. We asked for a 2-minute warning. I don't know if we're going to get one, but hopefully we will see him soon. And so I just want to add a little bit of perspective, just as a Capitol Hill reporter that's been covering the former president for a while. When I came to Congress 3 years ago, talked privately with many powerful Republicans who did not want to see the former president back in Washington, and then to see the legal battles that he went through and Republicans having to stand up for him. And then he went through the primary process. As Kellyanne Conway just said, he earned it.
等一下先
And then
我先
came
看一
back
下。
to Washington in the spring and went to the RNC and claimed the nomination. This is the greatest comeback that I've ever witnessed personally myself.
川普的支持者很多哎，所以我才说嘛，那个极左派嘛，那些左胶嘛，不是他们他们应该会输这场大选的。
No, I also just think it's a shame because I remember when John Kerry did this to George W. Bush in 2004, and you work so hard, and I know that they're disappointed, but you should concede and let your opponent have their election night, and let everybody that's there at Trump. At Mar-a-Lago, where are they? They're in Palm Beach.
They're in West Palm at the convention center.
At the convention center, like let them have their moment without anyone. Like I remember Andy Card had to come in and say, "Well, yes, we know we won, but we have to wait until John Kerry concedes," and then we all had to traipse back in the next morning and wait, and you don't get that moment. I don't think it's right. And
that's not to say there's not going to be a phone call. There could be a phone call tonight, but she's not going to speak public.
If there's a phone call, they have to make it public, and then. Nobody needs to hear from her. So if I were her, I would do it tonight.
I mean, they have that whole setup in front of Howard.
Yes, all of her people were already there.
Everybody was
到现在应该是没有观众留言吧。
Collect the moment and do it the way the
But they
Cougars do.
were holding out hope. They were holding out hope.
其实还蛮冷静一下。
It's going to be a red wall.
90 minutes before that, they were told to go to bed.
OK 啦，我先看一下看一下有什么嘉宾一下。
Everyone can go to bed and come back tomorrow. So.
She didn't even address her own supporters. We want her to call President Trump. She didn't talk to the people who were assembled there for hours for her. It just seems very ungracious. By the way, a very bad split
我在看这些内容的时候，也是要看一下年龄层哦，因为这些因为是关于政治的，所以年龄层的话，应该小孩子是不适合的哦。这边是不适合儿童来看的哦，抱歉。
Trump supporter maybe is just
如果是少年或者是青年的话，是勉强还可以，但是如果是成年人的话，应该是可以来看的。
to believe the man that I know and that Kayleigh worked with is going to work with a certain alacrity and energy to get things done very quickly. What he can do through executive order, what he could do with the Congress, bringing in the governors. No one gets a second chance this big in their lives.
Second chance 第二选择嘛。
gold star. He's going to use that as a platform for good and undo some of these bad policies, and I think do even better. You know, these
他说
celebrities,
将会
these
做得更好啊，但
he's
是
got job creators and innovators. He's got
这
Elon
应该
Musk and
是
Daniel. He's got people
川
who
普
make
这
stuff
边的
who
吧。
people say, wow, there's an American success story, and he's going to bring them aboard.
So Vice President Harris has now
因为目前啊，美国的那个政党是有两个，一个是民主党哦，一个是共和党哦，但是我是站在共和党这一边。
in 1836 and George H.W. Bush in 1988. You know, the question is what the Republican Party looks like now. And Kayleigh, it's a multiracial party, to your point. It's working class, and maybe it's the future. I mean, it's Elon Musk. It is Joe Rogan and podcasts. It is, you know, there's an opportunity here for both parties to realign and change.
There are going to be a lot of conversations that go on to that end. Who is the next standard bearer for president?
他说谁将会是下一个候选人呢？但是我个人是觉得是川普。
There's going to be a conversation about ground game. I mean, Kamala Harris over the weekend, they were saying they were knocking 1,000 doors a minute, and I have no reason to doubt that. It was an extraordinary ground game, but do ground games matter as much as podcasts? As much as real, authentic, viral moments like President Trump on the garbage truck, or President Trump at McDonald's? These viral moments that really captured the attention of the nation. And what does the Republican Party look like going forward? It's a broad coalition. It's an exciting coalition, and I think if President Trump manifests that working man agenda, no tax on
而且我要跟各位说一下哦，
limits on credit card interest rates,
在大选还没有来的时候，就是说在万圣节，就是10月31日的时候，其实我也不知道是不是接近万圣节，我就有听过那个川普，就听过他贺锦丽跟川普辩论。
And they are authentic, and I think that that is something that Kamala Harris fell really far short on in terms of the authenticity measure.
Yeah, if you had told me that a billionaire from New York would be able to connect with middle America, I would have questioned that. To my friend, the gentleman from Tennessee, autopsies are painful, especially when the patient's still alive. I wonder what the Democrat Party is going to go through in the next weeks and months, because this was a loss that I don't think anyone saw coming. So what does the autopsy look like if you're a Democrat? It's painful, but you have to have
虽然在这个聊天室，每个人都有自己的立场哦，我也是不能左右的。 我只是要来，就是把这些消息告诉各位罢了。
They could have had an open nominating process, gotten a more attractive nominee who would have been freer to walk away from Biden policies and would have had a better shot. I mean, I think that's the easiest, simplest solution. But I'm not sure that's where they'll go. But that makes sense.
I don't think you can pass over an African American female, which is a very loyal constituency
India
for the
with
Democrat
Trump.
Party.
哦，原来这个他是，哦，原来这边还有就是印度人啊，还有那些西班，这边有部分都是西班牙人啊，还有就是那些德国人、法国这些，应该数不清。哎 ，Hello， 老郑，哦，冰神是你啊 ，Hello， 冰神安安。哎，对了，哎，冰神你有就是看这些美国的那些大选嘛，就是2024年的这个政治大选。
Tonight, what happened this evening and what's happened over the last year has been described. There were those on this panel who didn't believe that this resurrection could have occurred. So if this can happen, things are possible in politics if you're willing to change and willing to have courage and determination. And whatever Democrats or anybody want to say about this guy who's been elected our president, he personifies that courage and determination and persistence. So I think, Trey, you were asking a serious question, and Britt gave a very serious answer. I think that's going to be part of the answer.
原来
And
你
we've got to look long and
无
hard
聊的时
about
候会来看哦。
whether or not the way we campaign
是哦。
sometimes with identity politics, then at the end, is that the right way to do it? But
对了，
before
我
we get
先
there, you
回
gotta
忆一
get a
下
purpose and
话
a message, and we'll get there. And we've got a long history of figuring these things out as a nation, as a party, and we'll figure it out this time.
So the carnage speech got a lot of attention at the inauguration. Do we think that
Oh, yeah.
this speech,
I was going way back.
we're actually told that the teleprompters have been removed from the stage, so we could be in for a long haul here.
对了，冰神，我想要问一下，如果要是在美国的话，因为美国有2个政党嘛，一个是民主党，一个是共和党的话，因为共和党是川普啊，不是，但是那个民主党呢，他却是搞这些正确的这个，就是贺锦丽哦，你会选择谁哦？但是我个人的话，我是选择川普哦，因为什么？因为我支持川普，因为川普还是右派分子来的，还是一个比较保守的一个右派。
There's range. If you think about the RNC convention, it started off with like, oh wow, yeah, and then after a while, it was like, wow, he's still talking. It was like so long, and it kind of got off script, and people thought, oh, he kind of lost opportunity. But he didn't. I think if you look at these people who would take off work, drive somewhere in the middle of the night to go and get in line, to wait for hours, to then stay at a rally for hours, and part of the things he has done as well is created this camaraderie amongst people so that you could go to
因为川普啊，你知道为什么我们可以信任川普吗？不只是他是右派，或者是他是那个共和党，而是因为什么？而是因为川普他是帮助我们台湾最多，他有就是去对我们台湾就是有。他就有保住我们台湾，虽然他口中说的就是他会看起来就像是说的那3个，就是3个威胁到我们台湾的那些独裁者的那些好话，但是其实当他当选之后，你看当他当选之后，你知道他做了什么？就盖了一个高墙嘛，不是？然后他还就是把那些非法移民者给赶走。尤其是从那些中国啊、俄罗斯啊，或者是伊朗啊那些逃线到美国，更容易被赶走。老郑说是事实啊，老郑不是针对谁，因为老郑呢是以事论事，不是针对个人，而是什么？而是说这个事实报。对，冰神，你会觉得老郑说这个观点是怎样的呢
Does everybody remember 5 years ago, so Laurel and Yanny, or what color dress? You hear Laurel, I hear Yanny. You see a blue dress, I see yellow dress. We were all looking at the same thing. That's the way Donald Trump is in this country. There are people who look exactly the same person, and they see 2 different vistas. I think it's time that we try to see one. Look, I was just said earlier, I'm a little worried about the reaction of the Democrats and the Kamala people here. I'm very worried. I think that there are a lot of unhinged people across the political spectrum, and we gave very little quarter to how many anti-Kamala voters are out there. I don't want to hear the words racism and sexism. It's eyesight and hearing. We were listening and watching her, and I'm very worried that we've not talked a lot about how violent people may be and angry because she lost. I'm afraid of that.
Right. I mean, I can just imagine thinking about the view, and a week or so ago, they were saying, what is wrong with someone who would vote for him?
他说这有什么问题吗？ 然后怎
saying,
么
we weren't raised like this. Who raised these people?
他说谁在歧视这些人，这些等等。但是
I will say when we talk about the view, what comes to mind is we mentioned the
看一
carnage
下这个
speech
在
that
台讲
President
话
Trump
是
gave at his
谁
inauguration. And my mind automatically went to the unity speech that Biden gave, and he mentioned unity a half dozen times. But
因为目前嘛，那个当选结果还没有出现，所以那个川普还有那个决议院就没有出来哦。看到底是那个川普还有那个决议院出来呢，还是那个贺锦丽还有那个沃兹出来哦？
the country, half of the country, and that's something he has not done. And so I expect you'll hear a unifying tone, and I expect you're going to see a very successful presidency and one untethered maybe from some of the things that were holding him back. What comes to mind is an Oval Office meeting that we had where Dr. Fauci was urging him not to open the country. And I watched President Trump fight vociferously, saying people are losing their jobs. We must open the country. He wanted to do it sooner than he did. I think that Donald Trump, who goes with his instincts, is going to be a Trump. Ultimately,
谢谢冰城哦，谢谢冰城支持川普哦。
Martha, Joe Biden mentioned the word unity more in his
对了，我先看一下，我会先看一下美国的那个票选一下。川普啊，就248，就248张票，贺锦丽的话是214哦。但是我支持川普啊，川普一定要赢了哦。这个是200，只要一到270票的话就赢了。 我个人就是不支持这个贺锦丽会拿到更多票，但是因为嘛，这个是美国的这个公正的这个选举啊，虽然这个听起来是很公正哦，但是这边会有不少人会去做票，因为什么？有些因为州属嘛，还有不同的那个法律啊。 因为美国是联邦制的，所以它是有很多，就是各种不同的法律啊，就是州属法律哦，跟那联邦法律不一样。联邦法律跟州法律这两个是有差别的。
But the Republican bench is pretty strong right now.
There you see Doug Burgum and Vivek Ramaswamy.
所以我先看一下 ，Maybe I will want to see. If I can left, if I can see who will win the elections of America.
Black Americans, working class Americans, standing up, asking what their government is going to do, asking their government to see them,
but
and their concerns
actually,
that it works. That this is
I was support truth evil.
The process works. I think as we get a final account of the numbers and the coalition that President Trump won with this time, I think it will be one that will be for the history books. President Bush, I think, got 40+% of the Hispanic vote. George Bush, W. Bush, and it looks like President, at least the preliminary numbers suggest that. But as much as we talk about the unconventional aspect of this was conventional also. People believed him. He resonated with voters. He resonated with communities, rural communities, urban communities, suburban communities across the country. And I congratulate him tonight. I didn't want him to win, but I congratulate him on his victory.
你说这个网上的这个投票站哦，这个投票站在谷歌这边就有了。 但是这边呢，如果是美国的那个大选的话，就是任何的那个民主国家都会显示出来的。假如你去谷歌搜寻，就已经搜寻得到了。Anyway， 我会先看一下。
I'm struck by the issue that of abortion because it was talked about so much and it was presented as if you're a woman and you are not going to support her, then you hate all women. They said that husbands were hateful towards their wives and the women in their lives if they
哦
didn't support
原
this
来如
candidate.
此
And I
哦。
think it just goes to show that that
其
kind
实
of
我可以告诉你一个妙招哦，如果要是你搜寻不到的话，因为你这个是人位于台湾嘛，不是？我教你一个妙招哦，你要先在谷歌这边按这个设定，然后再来就是改变你的那个国家位置哦，就在这边这个 region， 这个就是你国家的这个位置哦，然后你按下去，你就打一下美国，然后按一下，然后按确定就可以了。就比如说你现在人在台湾不是？你只要一打美国这几些字就可以了 ，America 这样子 ，Unit Station， 你点击这个一下，然后再点击confirm就可以了，就点击确定哦。OK。
By the way, somebody sent me the statistics. Over $500 million spent on ads about abortion. $500 million.
然后点击了之后，你再打一下这个，你再打一下美国大选哦，就可以看得到。
So we've spent a lot of time talking about markets tonight and the betting markets. Trey, at this point,
或者是你也可以不用那么麻烦，因为怎么嘛？如果要是你觉得太麻烦的话，你直接在这边，你就不用改变国家位置了，然后你直接打美国大选就可以了。
Should he control the White House, the Senate, and the House, like he did at the beginning in 2016? The possibilities open to a lot of things.
Yeah, I was there in 2016, and we had everything but an agenda. That mistake won't be made this time. He will deal with the border. He will deal with tax is coming up. There is a plan being formulated by Mike Johnson right now, and John Thune or John Cornyn or whoever becomes the majority leader. The mistakes of 2016, I think we were surprised that he won. I'm not saying he was surprised, but others were surprised. The other thing I will remind you, Brett, when he won in 2016, you recall what he said about Hillary Clinton. She's been through enough. There was a lot of pressure to prosecute her. He said she's been through enough. I wish my Democrat friends would say the same thing about him and say enough is enough. Drop the cases in New York and Georgia. Biden shouldn't wait on Donald Trump to end these federal cases. They should be ended by Joe Biden. If you really want unity, then quit using lawfare to divide the country. Quit using the justice system to try to win political races.
We are still following these Senate races, and as we wait for the former president, by the way, there's Nigel Farage there talking in the crowd there. Britt, this is remarkable in that some of these races were not even suspected to be close, expected to be close. Mike Rogers, he was a long shot at one point against Alyssa Slotkin in Michigan. Good candidate. Former chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. But Sam Brown was left essentially. He was not going to win.
He was not on anybody's list. Likely switch.
Not getting much money or attention.
No, but I think he's a competent candidate. Once again, we have.
Sam Brown right there, 48.1 to 47.2, 80%
等下先我有可能就是在做一些说要看一下我们在讲什么，可能要等一下才看你的留言哦，等下先哦。
Republicans often face an uphill battle, and the fact that it looks like it won't be just a squeaker, there might be a little margin there for Republicans, and the Senate is testament to that.
Let's see where Wisconsin is, guys. Can we put up Havdi in Wisconsin?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President-elect Donald J. Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, and the Trump family, accompanied by Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, Second Lady Usha Vance, along with friends and campaign staff.
可能有些他那个音乐不知道有没有版权的关系啊，我可能先要关掉这个静音一下，我可能要静音一下，因为这个对我来说这个有 版权冲击哦，对，我会先关掉这些声音一下哦。老郑再看看一下哦。咦，川普赢了？诶，真的，我看一下哦。诶，真的诶，267票诶。OK。可能呢，我大姐，因为他可能那个音乐播出来的时候，我会收到这个 YouTube 的这个部分。就是收到 YouTube 的那个版权通知哦，可能我就需要将我的那些有音乐的那个部分给屏蔽掉哦。我会相信。我会让这个国家变得更好。
And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And
我会就是
we made history for a reason
看好这些
tonight,
国
and the
家
reason
这
is
些等
going to
等
be
的
just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
每个人都会有这个民主自由啊。咦，这个我好像看到杰迪院的这个影子诶。
Never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your
可能我要先通知一下哦，至于那个侵犯版权的那一部分，老郑会直接剪掉哦。
And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children
267票，还差3票吧诶。
This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what
至于这些选票的话，各位观众有什么想法诶？在下面留言吧。对了，在聊天室说一下你们的想法，谢谢。
And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places. Georgia,
我爱这个第一盘。
Wisconsin. We are now winning.
我们已经赢了。
Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes, but that's
差不多270票诶，恭喜哦！
Networks did, or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that.
恭喜哦！ 美国的这个新任总统就是共和党的川普。
Thank you very much. Thank you. Winning the popular vote was very nice. Very nice. I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room.
They're so good.
Unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote.
因为美国总统，对了，因为美国那个总统候选人川普差不多要当选了，所以 应该是说差不多要赢了，还有差几票吧。所以老郑为了要庆祝这一些，所以老郑会先来一个 YMCA together this is so good.
In Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio,
他说那个税率啊，还有那个
Wisconsin,
还有那
the
个
great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by
的巨
the MAGA
这些
movement.
东
They helped
西
so
等等
much.
啊。
And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races, and I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies.
他说
We
会
did
就是保
tele-rallies
持
with each
平
one of
均
them.
哦，然后还
And
有。
sometimes we did 2 or 3 for, and it was amazing.
其
to
实
look at
呢，
all of
我
those
就
victories.
想
Nobody
要
expected
讲
that
一些好
from
消息啊，
So
因
I
为
just
川
wanted to
普
thank you
当
very much
选
for
了，
that.
对
We have
川普呢，他
senators and
其
some
实
great
他有
new senators.
在还没
And
有
it
当
also
选的时候，
looks
他
like
就有
we'll
说
be
到
keeping control of the House of
台湾的
Representatives.
这些国防预算呢，就是说台湾就必须就是台湾就是要交这些费用给
Mike Johnson, I think he's
美
doing
国了，
a
然后
terrific
交
job.
出
Terrific job.
那几%的这个费用给美国，然后美国就会派军来守护啊。但是由于有些人就乱改风向嘛，就是有些新闻媒体乱改风向，然后说着他说的什么呢？说川普说他抢了我的企业，还有什么？我要向他收保护费这些。有人就是乱改风向，然后乱带风，还有就是至于台湾的那个国台办嘛，他就是不是就说错，至于台湾对岸的那个国台办嘛，他就是说那个川普选上台湾队完蛋，但是这对我来说是假的。一切不符合事实，不符合现实力。
Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh?
川普也在川普还在说他想念他，他就是说他爸妈就是很想念哦。他说他妈就是一个很好的女人哦。
Our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance. And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Usha Vance.
先看一下哦。
And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp, and you know the enemy camp is certain networks, and a lot of people don't like to, sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay, which one, CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like, he's like the only guy I've ever seen, he really looks forward to it, and then he just goes and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words.
OK， 鼓掌一下哦 ，JD Van。
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America.
创建一个很好的美国。
And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams,
for the future of your
看到其
children
他
and
总统
after
可能
the greatest
就是
political
会
comeback
对
in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
其他总统就是像历史中一样哦，哈，就是没有，就是给这有些就是没有给这些福利这些咯。
He's turned out to be a good choice.
你们给了一个很好的这个选择。
But he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets.
我想一个牌子那真的是很好的。
Great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it
一
something
年
very
最好
special.
的。
It lost that little, that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this
这是我
so
想的
great.
太特别的一
It's
个
the
事
greatest
情来
country and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. We just, if we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast.
我会讲
We're going to have to
就是
seal
回
up those
去
borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country.
人民
We
在
want
这
people to come back
国
in,
家国民，
but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally.
我
They
想
have to
这
come
应
in
该要
legally. Let
我
me
们就
also
应该
express
回来，
my
然后
tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come, Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris.
因为熟悉谁来了？
Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden. Come here, Chris. Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, Susie.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a
他
hell
说
of
这
a
个讲
candidate.
自我
He's going to be a hell of a
感觉到
great
这个更
47th
好总统
president.
来
And
了。
this team that we had,
这是
the
他的
best
团
team,
队。
and of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best.
Susie Wiles.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
啊，
thank
不愧
you,
就是
Susie.
川普的团队
Look at
很
this.
好
She's
的。
I've never seen her be shot before. Susie. They're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up
看一下
2
哦，有
weeks
几个
ago.
观众
And I
哦，
saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour.
我再
It was
看一
burning
下
like
哦
hell. I said, what
咦，
happened to
这
your
边
paint
的那
job?
个
He said,
票
"We've
选
never
还没
made
有
a
变
paint that
动
could
嘞。
withstand that kind of heat." And but I saw it
但
come
是
down
我
and
看
turn
一下有几
around.
个摇
And
摆
it's,
走
you know,
一
it's
下
like 22
因为我
stories tall,
听
by the way. It
川，
looks a little smaller
因为
than
我
that, but it's
听
big.
斯坦说
And
有
it
几
came
些是
down
摇
and
摆走哦，
down, and you saw that fire burning, and I'm saying, only
尤其
Elon
是
could
这
do
个
this. It
德
must be
川，
an
这个
Elon.
德川，
And I tell the
这
story,
个
I
德
told
川
it
呢
last
就
night. I had a
是
man
一
on
个
the phone.
摇，也
I
是
had
摇
the
摆
screen
走来的。
muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And especially because you're going to be president again,
这个很特别。
hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy
我
thing
看到这
that's
个
going
荧幕
around
就会
and
知
coming
道
down.
了
It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor. Do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space age
我就不
movie
想
or
说的，
something.
但是这
I
个
put the phone down, Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding.
So 45.
But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash, and then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight, and it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it, and just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see, and I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No. Nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina. They were really devastated, the water. This was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon. And I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die, they had no communication, all the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink, is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast, it was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives. But he's a character, he's a special guy, he's a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer, slightly longer than me. Hits the ball a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he?
发生什么事？发生什么事？
Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson.
已经报在领位，他说。
Oh, look at him.
哎，躲在哪里？躲在这边吗？或者那边吗？
He had a great. He's got a
他
great
说
career
这个奖会是很好。
Great U.S. Open, Bryson. That's a fantastic
Great
job. And we also have a man,
一个
Dana
很
White,
好
who
的
has
观
done
众，
some job.
对，一个很好的一个。
He's a tough guy.
Freeze up, freeze up, freeze up, freeze.
So Dana started UFC and came to me, do you mind if I use your, nobody wanted to give him Marines because they said it's a rough sport, a little rough. And I helped him out a little bit and I went and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it and he loved it and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters and they really go at it. And it's become one of the most successful sports enterprises anywhere at any time.
Anywhere,
so
anytime.
well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words because people love to hear from him. Dana,
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years.
怎么就是他的机械来弄你或者怎么这些，他就这样子说。他应该是指左派吧，不是。
His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a famfamily.
我们家 ，He is a family， 他说这个家庭，
Theo Vaughn, busting with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan.
他说厉害的那个叫 Converse。
That is a piece of work. Now he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement. We've been through so much together, and today you showed up in record numbers to deliver a victory like probably like no other. This was something special, and we're gonna pay you back. We're gonna do the best job. We're gonna turn it around. It's got to be turned around.
我们就转一圈，然后转一圈，
We're gonna turn it around. We're gonna
转
do
一
it in
圈
every way. With so many
然后
ways.
看一下
We're gonna do it in every way. This will
转一圈呢，
forever be remembered as the day
然后我
the
们会记
American
得这一
people
件事，
regained control of their country.
我们就会记得我们国家以往的事哦。
So I just want to say that on behalf of this great group of people, these are hard
这个讲
people.
是一
These
个
are
人民，
fantastic people, and we
这
could
讲是一个
add
伟大人民
a
的
few
什么
names
这
like
些东西。
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He came in.
Junior，
And he's going to help make America healthy again.
Make America healthy again， 让美国再次伟大哦。
And now he's a great guy, and he really means it. He wants to do some things, and we're going to let him go to it. I just said, but Bobby, leave the oil to me. We have more liquid gold, oil and gas. We have more liquid gold than any country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia.
Liquid gold，
We're more
跟就
than
是说，
Russia. Bobby, stay away from the liquid gold. Other than that,
liquid
go have a
gold
good time, Bobby.
liquid gold 啊。
We're going to be paying down debt. We're going to be reducing taxes. We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have.
没有人会怎
We
么
have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen any young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight. When you think, I mean, I was looking at it, I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. It came from, they came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American.
美国还有美国就是这个，
everybody, and it was beautiful. It was
他说美国这个很美国的，然后
realignment.
他就说 American union， 然后这些，然后他就说美国就是。
of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense. We want to have borders. We want to have security. We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars.
No wars， 应该至少没有那么糟糕啊。
We defeated
No
ISIS
wars
in record time.
但是可能观众会把 wars 听成 wars， 然后 wars 听成 wars， 但是这两个是有差别的啊。Democracy。
Together we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny. We're going to achieve the
他
most
说
incredible
democracy 就
future
是
for our people.
那个脸，
Yesterday, as I stood at
如果是 democracy 的话，应该就是民主的意思了。
I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine? 901 something.
900。
A lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people
每个人都会
this is
说
our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important, because the rallies were used for us to be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that God spared my life for a reason.
他说要感谢上帝守护了我的生命哦。 为什么？如果因为川普嘛，他在3次遇袭的时候，就是奇迹生还了，对，就是代表川普就是神选之人。 and fight， 我们要努力的奋斗。
Entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like this. This is the most important job in the world. Just as I did in my first term, we had a great first term, a great first term. I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term. When we became more and more successful, people started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
谢谢各位。可能这边有那个音乐版权哦，先静音哦。我知道他这个是要唱什么，等下等，就是这样的 YMCA YMCA。说，川普终于当选了耶，太好了。再看一下数据哦，刷新一下。270土运，我看一下公布数据哦，这边数据哦，为什么？这边的话，看一下哦。至于因为美国是联邦制嘛，所以他这边虽然看起来这个投票数量是有计算下来的哦，但是至于这边的话就有分几些就是整合起来的这些数据哦，这个应该是我们这些台湾的这个传统投票。对了，我想要说一下，我是马来西亚人哦，请注意一下哦。我只是说，至于就是台湾跟日本呢，就大部分亚洲国家都是传统投票制的哦。 OK， 差不多要结束了哦。如果要是这个直播，如果要是这个狐狸侍卫的这个直播结束的话，我也会就是简谈一下之后就结束了。对了，各位观众，对于这个对于这个美国2024年的这个当选，你们会有什么看法呢？虽然这个聊天室看起来很冷静哦，没有什么观众留言哦，但是至于如果要是这个直播结束之后，我会列出几节时间表出来的哦，给各位观众来看一下时间重点哦。至于那些不小心弄到有音乐版权的，老郑会一律移除哦。YMCA, let's go to YMCA, that is best time. YMCA.好啊。美国大选期间的这个场景真的是很美，这个可以看得出来，在美国生活真的是很好一下。虽然要前往美国的那个飞机票会很贵哦，因为你要前往美国啊，不是你要花将近就是$500的那个金额，就是前往美国。我是说最低，不是说，我是说最低的那个最低价格飞机票，我先说一下哦。如果是$500的话，算下来的话，应该是马来西亚2000多令吉吧。OK， 那个大选的那个直播已经正式结束了，所以老郑先看一下。当然，这毋庸置疑的，川普当选了诶。好的，这时候老郑真的是觉得太感动了，川普当选了。我还以为川普没有当选，如果川普没有当选的话，老郑会想这是什么结果？如果是贺锦丽当选，不是川普当选的话，我就是觉得应该会就是怎样如果要是换成贺锦丽当选的话，他的那个态度会比较软弱，我比较支持川普哦。好的，我看一下哦，直播差不多要结束了，老郑先谈一下话先吧，因为这些话是在直播结束后，观众可以在 留言区那边留言，到底对这个美国大选有什么看法？然后你是支持哪一边的？你是比较支持川普还是支持贺锦丽？然后你到底就是在看这个美国大选的时候，到底你为什么会对这个候选人会就是比较，为什么你会反对这个候选人呢？然后你支持这个候选人又是什么？然后你就来说一下你的感想吧。至于这部分周二还没有投票完成，但是不用说了，打赌川普绝对赢。我一而再再而三的已经说清楚了。好的。OK， 因为要结束了嘛，对，老郑会先告一段落。OK， 感谢大家来收看老郑的这个美国大选2024年的这个直播。如果要是喜欢这部影片，如果要是喜欢这部直播的人，记得点赞哦。如果要是要追踪更多影片的话，记得订阅及按下小铃铛，关注通知哦。我是老郑，等下一对了，老郑先说一下，记得也就是订阅我的副频道，我是老郑。等下一部影片或者是直播再见，拜拜。
Thank you.